Security Dave here. Today we're going to explore Twitter account security, including enabling multi-factor authentication. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm on a desktop computer. You can also do this from your smartphone, directly from the Twitter app, but I'm going to show you on this here because it's easier to record the screen. So starting from the Twitter screen here, there is one prereq for you if we're going to set up this two-factor authentication. There's two different methods that I suggest. There's the text messaging two-factor, and there's also the application two-factor authentication. So as a prereq, just searching Google Play, these are similar for iPhone as well. I would recommend, I like the Google Authenticator app. Authy is another good one, Microsoft Authenticator or Duo Mobile. Pretty much these top 5 here are good choices. You can pretty much pick whichever one that you may previously used. If you haven't set up two-factor authentication on other accounts, I would highly recommend that you start doing that for every account you own. But pretty much your prereq is to have a smartphone with one of these applications installed. So let's head back over to Twitter. And if we go to the home page, as you can see, I've set up a Security Dave Twitter account, and you can follow me if you'd like. It's Security Dave 3. And you go to this ... button on the left here. And actually, if you're following along on your smartphone, these are actually very similar menus. So then you'd go to Settings and Privacy. So now from this Settings and Privacy screen, you can see that under Account is Security. And then you can see that there is a two-factor authentication menu here. So if you click on this button here, there are 3 different options, but we'll highlight the top 2 because the third one is a security key, and I don't have any security keys to demonstrate with. So the first one is a text message. You can enter, how about we go through and we create these top 2 here. So to set up text messaging, you click the little checkbox here. It says protect your account with two-factor authentication in just 2 steps. Verify a mobile phone number and receive a text message with confirmation code. So now you'll have to have your phone with you. Let's click Get Started, and you'll have to re-authenticate yourself with your password. So I'll hit Verify. And now you'll have to enter a phone number that can receive text messages. And I would uncheck this box. People who have your phone number can find and connect with you on Twitter. I personally don't want that. So now, as you can see, it's going to send a code to my phone number. And I'm using a VoIP line here, so I should get my text message here shortly. All right, and it tells me that I've got my confirmation code. So you enter your code and you hit Next, and now we're all set. So now it gives you a single-use backup code to save in a safe place. This will allow you to log into Twitter if you can't receive a text message or don't have access to other authentication methods. So I'm going to obviously blur out all of this information because you wouldn't want to be able to get into, I wouldn't want to share that because then you could get into my account. All right, so now let's set up the Authenticator app as well. So now this is the one that requires these applications to to generate a code for you. So now we'll set up the Authenticator app. And now I'm going to blur out this QR code for our screen here. And I've got an Authenticator app installed, the Google Authenticator app installed on my smartphone. And I go to add an account and scan a QR code. And I can't show you this because it's on my smartphone, and then I hold my camera up to the screen and it scans the QR code. And now it's generating codes for me. So now when I hit Next, it says, all right, enter the first code that it shows up on your screen. Now it's typically like a time-delayed code, so if you're near the end of a code that has a little pie, on the Google Authenticator it has like a little pie wheel or a circle that kind of goes away. That's your countdown for how long until a new code gets generated. So if you're near the end of a code, just wait for it to refresh and enter the code that's on the screen. So now it says, all right, we're all set, and we've got two-factor authentication methods. So now if I don't have my phone with me, which, well, if I don't have my phone with me, I can't get either of these, obviously, but, maybe your text message goes somewhere else and your Authenticator app is on a different phone or a tablet or something that sits at home. And this will allow you to get into your account with two-factor authentication. So now I'm going to log out And I have to go down here to log out, I think. All right, and I'm going to log back in with my account, and we're going to test it. And get my password. All right, now it should. Now see, it says check your phone number that ends with a 56 for a text message and enter. So now it defaults to the text message one. A text message is okay. It's better than nothing, I would say. I would certainly enable text message over nothing if you don't have a smartphone. But I would say that, maybe let's try. It did send me a text message, but I'm going to click choose a different two-factor authentication method, and I'm going to choose the Authenticator app. So now I do have the Authenticator app open, and it just gave me a new code, so I'm going to enter that in here. And there we go. I'm logged in. So now let's review a few of the other security settings that are within your account in Twitter. So if we go to settings and privacy again, on the little the little menu icon here, and you go to account, there's a few items within security that I would highly recommend. So now this password reset protect. When you check this box, I'm just going to read the description. When you check this box, you'll be required to verify additional information before you can request a password reset with just your username. If you have a phone number on your account, you'll be asked to verify the phone number before you can request a password reset with just your email address. So now this is going to prevent people from attempting to reset your password when they just have your username. I would highly recommend you check this box. So now it's going to ask me to re-authenticate again with my password. I've got that sitting over here. And there we go. So now you can't go and just do a reset password on your account with just your username. So let's try that. I'm going to log out again. And let's see what it does. I'm going to do a forgot password, and I'm going to do security Dave 3. All right, and now it's asking me, oh, what's your email address? So now if somebody doesn't know your email address, they're not going to be able to reset or attempt to reset your account. I don't have access to this information. So now it says, well, it's going to guide you through the process of resetting your password. So let's go ahead and log back in. And obviously you all know my email address, so please don't reset my password. All right, and now now it switched us. The last time was a default authentication code was sent to my text or to my phone number, and now it's asking me for a default as my authentication code through the app. So that's good, as I'd rather have it through the app than text message personally. All right, so let's go back into settings and privacy. All right, so a few other things here. That's pretty much everything on this page here. When you go to privacy and safety, there's a few other things here that you probably want to take a look at and decide whether you want enabled or not. So protect your tweets. Only show your tweets to people who follow you. So they have to follow you to be able to see your information. That's a personal choice there. Do you want people to be able to just search for you and find your tweets? Other things to look out for is location information. Do you want your tweets to have your location information stored on them? I personally don't. Maybe you want to be able to say, I was tweeting from this location. Maybe you put that in the tweet instead of having it tagged on there. I certainly would think that's a security risk of being able to see where you're tagging, where you're posting information from. The photo tagging section here is another thing. Anyone can tag you in photos. I personally think that's a big security problem there. I would say if anybody's allowed to tag you in photos, it should only be only people you follow can tag you. So you have to follow somebody for them to be able to tag you in a photo. Or you can just turn it off completely. Don't want them tagging you in photos at all. Receive messages from anyone. If you leave this box unchecked, if you don't follow somebody, they won't be able to message you. So, if you want your profile to be able to be messaged by anybody, go ahead and check that box. I would say, you know, depending on what you use your Twitter account for, maybe you leave that unchecked. Quality filter is filtering out low quality messages. You know, I would say that's probably a good low-hanging fruit kind of situation. Like if it gets flagged by the quality filter, it's probably junk and it's probably getting sent to a lot of people. So I'd probably leave that checked. Show read receipts. Now this is a personal choice again, but I'd say there's some security issues there as well. I would probably uncheck that because it says when somebody sends you a message, when you read it, they'll know. Is basically it. But if you turn it off, you won't be able to see read receipts of others. So you don't expect to be able to see when somebody else has read your message. Now Facebook has a very similar setting in their settings as well. You can turn off read receipts within conversations in Facebook Messenger as well. Personally, I don't like read receipts. It's, you know, somebody marks your message as read and then never responds. Do you want to be that person, you know, kind of thing? Because then they know you're looking at the conversation. There's certainly some issues with that as well. Discoverability in contacts. So this is another thing. If you want people to be able to find you based on your phone number or your email address. Now, you know, there's some advantages to this and some disadvantages. Depends on how you want people to be able to find you. You know, if you have your email address published places and you don't want to link your email address to your Twitter account, maybe you uncheck this. You know, it's good for, you know, work situations like you're applying for a job or something like that, and you're a little worried that somebody's going to punch your email address from your job application into Twitter to see, are they going to be able to find your profile really quickly and see all your information that you've been posting? Uncheck that box. That sort of situation. Same with the phone number. Same situation even. You can punch in an email address from a job application and find you on Twitter. All right. The rest of these are kind of, you know, blocking accounts, muting people, notifications and search filtering, that sort of thing. So, you know, kind of, I would browse through these. This account is brand new, so I'm not going to have anything in here. You can mute specific words. I'm not muting anybody or muting any accounts, so we don't have anything in here to show off. You can block people, turn off notifications for things, push notifications, that sort of thing. And you can turn off, you know, text messages to your phone number and things like that. You can also do all this through the application itself. So let's go back because this is a little easier to look at. All right, and that pretty much wraps up security settings for Twitter. Thank you for joining me and learning about Twitter account security. If you have suggestions for video topics, please leave me a comment below or email me directly. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe my channel. Thanks again.